What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today we have a pretty significant development out of the great state of Pennsylvania. As many of you probably know, in 2024 there is a Senate race in the state of Pennsylvania. And while that should mean this should be a very competitive seat, it really isn't, for the simple fact that this is popular incumbent Bob Casey that is running for re-election. But many people thought we can make this race close enough for not only down-ballot purposes, but also for up-ballot purposes for the presidential election. And there's been much discussion about who should Republicans run in the Senate seat in the state of Pennsylvania. And there's been much discussion about would Doug Mastriano actually pull the trigger and run for the Senate seat. As many of you know, Mastriano ran in 2022 for the governorship, and to say it didn't end too well is an understatement. He got blown out. That's the best way to put it. But most people thought he was going to enter this race. Well, it's a stunner. He's not. Doug Mastriano won't run for the Senate seat in Pennsylvania at this time. And this comes to a shock everybody. Nobody really thought he wasn't going to run. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. It's a great Twitter account that I recommend everyone follows. Of course, follow the Rumble page down below for exclusive content. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American, which is a phenomenal deal, as it helps support the daily content we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, so let's get into this. So Doug Mastriano, as many of you know, ran for the Senate seat or the governorship in 22. It didn't end too well for him. And there's many reasons why, but either way, he lost by 15. And there's been much argument that he dragged down the rest of the ticket. I have my own opinions on it, but either way, he lost by 15, and it probably wasn't a good idea to run for even a larger position just 2 years later. I mean, you go from losing the governorship by 15 to going against Bob Casey, which, mind you, Bob Casey, for being a fake moderate, he is a very strong candidate in the state of Pennsylvania. He just is, because of his last name. Casey is a big name in the state of Pennsylvania. His father was a pro-life Democrat, but he's not. He's a fake moderate Democrat that's been grifting off that name for many years now. But most people thought he was going to enter the Senate race, Mastriano. And people were like, why? But it appears he's not running. MAGA firebrand Doug Mastriano said on Thursday that he is not running for the Senate in Pennsylvania in 2024. At this time, we have decided not to run for the United States Senate, he said, but to continue to serve in Harrisburg. And I really think this was the best decision for everybody. Now, let me be clear. I like Doug Mastriano. You know, do I regret I never even supported him in the primary. People make it sound like I support him. I wanted Lou Barletta. But I said I'm going to support him in the general election, and I did. This was just a painful loss because he was a good guy. Some of these people make it sound like he's a neo-Nazi. He is not. And there's many Republicans on the clown right, the loser right, whatever you want to call them, on Twitter. I mean, they talk about party loyalty so much, but guess what? Some of these people, they didn't vote for Mastriano. A lot of these people that lecture us about loyalty, well, guess what? The one guy they were bashing constantly for considering running, he decided to be a team player, and he is not running for the Senate seat. I mean, that's a team player. To not run for a Senate seat when you were considering because it's probably not the best option for anybody. I mean, why do people hate this guy? I don't get it. Yes, did he lose by a lot? Absolutely. But there's many reasons what happened. And people just forget that Doug Ducey left him dry. Mastriano promised to support whoever emerges as the Republican nominee in the Senate contest, but he has also signaled that he will continue to be thorn in the side of GOP officials. During his announcement Thursday, which took place on Facebook Live, he complained for several minutes about the Republican establishment abandoning him during the gubernatorial election last year, and they did. Don't let people pretend they didn't. They did. They completely abandoned Mastriano when he was down by 2 points. He was down by 2 freaking pointers. They threw up their hands like, well, we can't win this. Yeah, I wonder why he didn't win by 15 when he didn't get a dime by the Republican Party. I mean, to abandon him when he's down by 2 points in the polling? That's what happened. They just gave up immediately? It's a scam. I mean, Mastriano, you can make the argument he dragged down many Republicans. Fine. But to blame it solely on him when much of the Republican Party abandoned him in June, when he was down by 1 or 2 points? You're delusional. He did get screwed over to a lesser extent. Would he have won? Probably not. He was going to get Shapiro, who most people said at the time he wasn't the strongest candidate. Now they're saying he's a god-tier candidate. People are suddenly switching their tunes on that, but either way, Mastriano did lose by 15, and this was a good decision. Just don't run. Because if we lose now, you can't blame on Mastriano. You can't. Mastriano and his wife, Rebbe, also said that their movement is not going anywhere, and that they will hold an annual conference for the grassroots. So, what I think is happening is, I don't think he's going to run for a seat again. I don't think he's going to run for re-election. He's in the state senate. I don't think he's going to run for much of anything for a little while, but I think he's going to focus on this grassroots, building up a machine in Pennsylvania. That's my guess. That's what I got out of this entire situation. But who knows? The announcement by the far-right state lawmaker will come as welcome news to the Republican officials who were convinced that Mastriano would obliterate their chances of unseating Bob Casey. If you seriously think you can unseat Bob Casey right now, you're an idiot. You're a complete moron. And you could have any Republican running against Bob Casey, even Brian Fitzpatrick. He would lose to him by a lot. And harm down-ballot candidates if he were the nominee. And even former President Trump told the Republicans that he feared Mastriano would hurt him in their shared ballot in November. But you know what this sounds like? This sounds like a team player. Everybody told him, for now, for the best interest of the party, we want somebody better, we want somebody good, but it's probably the best for everybody, you don't run. And he actually listened. If this was an establishment candidate, certain people would be losing their minds. He is a team player, and he realized there's no chance he's winning. And it's the best interest for everybody if he doesn't run. So the question is this: who will run for the Senate seat in Pennsylvania now? Mastriano's decision to forego a campaign this time around could clear the path for David McCormick, a former hedge fund CEO and combat veteran who was being recruited by national and state Republicans to run for the Senate. Though he repealed general election voters, Mastriano remains a force in the GOP, winning his primary last year by double digits. Many GOP strategists believe he would be tough to beat in a primary. So that's why it was a big deal why Mastriano didn't run. He is loved by the GOP in Pennsylvania, by the voters. He has a sour taste with a lot of voters now because of certain issues, but either way, he's not running. So it's really going to come down to McCormick or Keith Rothfus. I call him Rufus because the guy on Twitter, but it's really going to come down to who's less crap. Gosh darn it. So I'm hoping Sean Parnell or something like that gets in, because Sean Parnell, he was a strong candidate, but he had some personal issues that the courts purposely kind of sabotaged his campaign, but either way, Parnell's our best option. He really is, because McCormick, he has a lot of money. But here's the problem. He's not the best on the issues. He's better than the clown before Toomey. Toomey sucked on most issues. McCormick at least is better in guns. That's not much of a compliment, but okay. But it's just looking not good for Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania. It's looking like get somebody that can self-fund and, try to get this race semi-close, because we're not beating Casey. I don't see it. I mean, even Susquehanna has him down by 12. Franklin and Marshall down by 7. Signal by 5. It's not looking too good. It's not looking good at all. He is a strong incumbent. But my fear with McCormick is it's going to be the hypocrisy of the GOP. They didn't give a dime to Mastriano because we didn't have enough money and, he's unelectable when he was down by 2 points in June. Here's what's going to happen. If McCormick is a candidate, McConnell will suddenly find $300 million in the bank to fund this guy when he could self-fund somewhat. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to piss me off. He's going to spend $300, God knows how much, on McCormick. But he's not going to spend a dime in possibly Arizona, probably Wisconsin. And people are still going to defend McConnell. He carried us in 2022. That's bull. Whoa, he did. Well, we ran out of money. That's bull. If he wanted money, he'll find it. He's going to find like $200, $300 million for McCormick, and he's not going to give a dime to many other candidates that do need it. It's a clown show what's happening. It's hypocrisy, but McCormick looks like our best option. Just for the fact that he can self-fund to a lesser extent. And maybe he pulls off some miracle. Maybe, which I don't see as likely, but who knows. But if McConnell spends $300 million, which some people are saying he will, it just shows you how incompetent the GOP can truly be. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.